It's recording now, so we can just keep going.
Hello and welcome back to JimMurphyMP.com. I'm sitting here on the balcony in Parliament. Surprisingly warm, late December morning. Start again. Hello and welcome back to JimMurphyMP.com, a way of keeping in touch with local and national news. And you join me here sitting on the balcony, one of the buildings here in the House of Commons. And I know in Eastwood that would be unusual in late December to sit outside like this, but it's for some reason a really peculiarly kind of mild day here. Obviously, politics has started to wind down. It's the last day here in Parliament as people prepare for the Christmas break and a new start to 2012. And many local people, of course, in the Jewish community are just coming to the end of the celebration of Chanukah. But as I now start thinking about buying Christmas cards and Christmas presents, I've always bought my Christmas presents a day or so before Christmas. But I'm usually a wee bit more organised than my Christmas card, so if you expect a Christmas card from me, maybe it'll be in the new year. But whatever you're doing, wherever you are, throughout East Renfrewshire, or whether you're away visiting friends or family, I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and a really peaceful 2012. Now, just a couple of wee things, things that I think are important. I've been watching X Factor or Strictly Come Dancing or whatever. I don't watch much of it, but I tune in now and then. I think it was Little Mix that won the X Factor, and normally the X Factor kind of winner would be the Christmas #1. That's been the formula over the past few years, but I'm going to try, as other people are, to try and encourage you to break that tradition and buy this CD instead. Wherever you are, by the Military Wives. All the money raised goes to the Royal British Legion. It's the wives and partners of those who are serving in Afghanistan and others, and it's for a fantastic cause. And while these folk might be out of sight, they're not out of our minds, and there's 10,000 of our fellow citizens, people from East Renfrewshire, people from all over Scotland and all over the UK, who this Christmas will be separated from their loved ones. So do your wee bit, as well as perhaps giving to other charities that support folk who need help over this Christmas period. This isn't about giving to charity, it's also kind of listening to some really good music. The only last thing I'd say is that I seen the Daily Record this morning, the debate about standing in football matches is ignited again. The football clubs and the SPL have agreed to do it on a trial basis. I think that's a smashing idea. We look at Germany in the Bundesliga where people stand, possibly the most successful league in the world, certainly the best attendances. I think I watch it on ESPN and kind of remarkable success. So let's try that in Scotland. Let's treat football supporters as adults. We've moved on from the bad old days, I think. We still get problems with sectarianism, of course, but those problems of crowd disorder and misbehaviour hopefully are a thing of the past. And isn't there an irony that just a couple of weeks ago Motherwell fans were kicked out of Pittodrie for standing, and now the same football authorities are sanctioning safe spaces to stand in every ground. Now I know not every club can afford it, but let's try it in Scotland, and let's not just be a tester for Scottish football, but let's see if we can take the idea across the whole of Britain, and this sense of safe standing areas, not the old way of terraces and people swaying, but safe standing areas could be a thing for 2012 and 2013, and it might just be a wee injection of confidence and momentum our football so badly needs. That's all for now. Whatever you're up to over Christmas and New Year, have a fantastic time, and I'll speak to you again in the New Year. All the best. Cheerio.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. And then it's just a quick message for Labour Friends of the Force, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Ed went along the traditional line of, grateful for what you do, all the rest of that stuff.
Thoughts with people who can't be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His main line was a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Could reiterate that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to go too political because.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. And this, if any of you, it's wives and partners. I imagine my girlfriend as well, but I guess it's the Royal British Legion, so it's wives.
Yeah.
It's not wives and girlfriends.
Wife. Yeah.
Wives,
Military
girlfriends,
wives.
partners,
Yeah.
Civil partners.
Civil partners. Yeah.
all of the above.
Hello and welcome back to Labour Friends of the Forces. As you know, it's a new campaign and organisation for those who support our forces and also support the Labour Party's approach to politics. And I'm sitting here. Hello and welcome back to Labour Friends of the Forces, a new campaign and organisation that appeals to those who support our forces and all that they do, and also support the politics of the Labour Party. Now I'm sitting here on one of the balconies of the House of Commons on the last day of Parliament. A pretty mild morning, unusual for this time of year, and just thinking about starting my Christmas shopping and buying some Christmas cards. Those Christmas cards, I know I'll be late. I know the Royal Mail won't get them to people in time. But as well as thinking of spending time with my own family, I, like many people, are reflecting on those who cannot spend Christmas with their family. Not least is that the 10,000 of our remarkable men and women in Afghanistan, who, while politicians have voted to put them out of sight in Afghanistan, they should never be out of our mind. So for those incredible men and women who, while we are tucking into our Christmas dinner and celebrating and opening the presents in that special time of year, many of us Christmas morning will be thinking of all of you in Afghanistan. Now, there's big disagreements in politics in Britain. We know that, you know that. Any supporter of Labour Friends of the Forces knows that. The decision to freeze forces pay and so many other things this government is currently doing that they didn't promise to do. It certainly wasn't part of their manifesto, but they're carrying on regardless, with changes that I think are pretty severe, definitely unpopular and questionable as to whether they're in keeping with the military covenant. But those debates will continue, I'm sure, over the new year into 2012 and beyond, and we'll continue to make that case in Parliament. But when it comes to the mission in Afghanistan and what we're trying to achieve in Afghanistan, then there's an agreement across the party politics here in the House of Commons, and I think there's an agreement across Britain that what we're doing there, well, for some it's controversial, it is the right thing to do, and we should stick with it and see progress in 2012. So for all the other disagreements, those are for another day. At the moment, it's about consensus on Afghanistan and about an enormous unanimity in wishing all of you in Afghanistan, all of our forces all over the world, a fantastic Christmas, a happy 2012, and a safe 2012. And the last thing to say is that any of you who are watching this whose wives or partners have done this CD, I get nothing against the X Factor winners little mix. The X Factor winner normally shoots straight into number one. But we're all doing whatever we can to make sure military wives, wherever you are, and support the Royal British Legion and others is number one at Christmas. So you don't need my encouragement to download it or whatever else. But here in Parliament, we are trying to spread the word, and trying to spread the word throughout the country, because I think this is a big statement about our country, that CD recorded by your families is number one in our country this Christmas. It says a lot about our country, it says a lot about the affection, support and enthusiasm there is for our forces. All the best for the new year. Cheers, bye bye. Yeah?
Thank you.